Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, everyone, to another Mandalorian review, Season 2, Episode 2, Chapter 10. Yeah, there's a lot of news to cover with the show that doesn't really concern this episode that we are going to discuss here, and I might actually do a separate video as well. If you have not, please consider subscribing right here at Nerdrotic Live and liking and sharing the videos. It is a very strange time on YouTube, and right now, a lot of our stuff is only getting to you guys, and I'm glad you're here. But as far as the recommendations, it's not really happening. YouTube goes through this. It's not like they're specifically singling me out. It's happening to a lot of channels on whatever side of aisle you're on. And this is a pop culture side, and that's what we're going to discuss here. And this was a very, very weak episode. I, of course, have to preface all Mandalorian reviews with, so far, I am grateful it is not filled with identity politics and intersectional feminism and general woke politics. It is homogenous. It is safe. It is adequate. It's inoffensively adequate. That's the best way I can put it. But this episode should rile some people up because we can deal with the season of this. I thought it was absolutely a step in the right direction. I think The Mandalorian had stopped the bleeding in the Star Wars franchise. It had not turned the corner. It did not begin the healing process, but the bleeding had stopped. Now, this show, a lot of this show's problems have nothing to do with the show. It exists in the Disney trilogy universe. That is canon. That is set in stone, and that is what this story is moving towards, unless they undo it somehow. I've heard a lot of rumors saying they're going to undo it, and I'll just say, hey, we've heard crazier rumors, and they've come true, and that would be great. But until I see it, I will not believe it. And this is going to bring us to this. This is what this show did not need. This is why the Fandom Menace exists as a hashtag, a loose set of individuals united in the principle of respecting the fan, respecting the paying customer. Hollywood, the mainstream media, Silicon Valley, big tech, all the same thing, have been some of the most divisive entities in this country over the last 4 years. And if they start coming out in a couple of months going, we're really sorry. We were doing this for the greater good, or whatever you were doing. I don't care. Yeah, whatever side you're on. That's why the Fandom Menace hashtag, a lot of people use it on all sides of the aisle. And we have been generally saying, specifically to Doctor Who, Star Trek, and very specifically to Star Wars, keep your personal politics out of it. Don't be preachy. Just make good Star Wars. The Mandalorian makes Star Wars. Adequate Star Wars, not great Star Wars. Again, it was a step in the right direction that got completely pulverized last night. Now, is it going to kill the show? No. Are people going to stop watching? Yes. Does it really make me scratch my head? And, if I had committed last week to doing these reviews, I'm going to do them. I'm going to finish them holding my nose at this point. And for Gina Carano, who remains a bright, shining light in all of this. If we had more movie stars, actors like her, and they're out there, then there wouldn't be a Fandom Menace. It wouldn't be necessary. Now, of course, Pedro Pascal is allowed to speak his opinions, and I am allowed to retort and say that when you are working for a giant corporation and you are the star of The Mandalorian, I'm sorry, co-star, Baby Yoda is the star, you are wearing that company's uniform all the time. All the time. And you are allowed your individual beliefs. I would say, just as if I was a professional, if I was starring in a TV show for Star Wars, for one, I would think I won the lottery, and I would be thanking whatever gods I pray to every day that I got this gig, that I'm getting paid money to pretend in a costume. And let's face it, he's not doing a lot of work. I mean, how many times is he actually in the costume? Not very much. Not very much. So by all means, congratulate your candidate who hasn't officially won yet, by the way. This is just the media calling it, and the media does not get to call presidencies in this country. And there's a lot. This is not over. And as much as I want it to be, so I can just, I don't know, so we can, we have to do our due diligence in this country. So this is what he tweeted. He put this on his Instagram. Ryan Cannell did a video on this initially. Okay. By the way, it says Pascal is punk. No, you're not. It is not punk rock to back the system and a giant corporation. That's actually the opposite of punk rock. But he says losers in 1865, the Confederates, losers in 1945, the Yahtzees, and losers in 2020, the MAGA hat. And by all means, congratulate your candidate. No problem. Be excited if you're excited. Great. That's fine. This is precisely why the Fandom Menace exists. What have we been saying for the last 3 years? We're tired of being called Nazis because we don't like Star Wars. And we like this show. We like this show. So this is, at the very least, 70 million Americans, and anybody who's supported internationally, potential or current Disney Plus subscribers, and potential Mandalorian viewers that you just alienated. And he deleted this, by the way. But it got echoed by Steph at My Nerdy Home. Ryan Cannell did the first video on it last night, and Pedro responded right there. And you know what this does? Stir up. You know, yeah, I want to go out and punch Nazis. I want to go, but look at what Thomas the Guilt Man says here. I also voted for Biden, but to compare Republicans to Nazis, that is effed up and stupid. Nazis are horrible, evil people, of course. And of course, Lethal Lightning's going to pop in and say what he says. I did respond as well. I think I responded to Ryan Cannell. And there. Hello, 70 million potential or current viewers of Disney Plus. Pedro Pascal called you a Nazi. Answer, who? Meanwhile, and I showed some footage of an actual camp that you do not concentrate in. What has this got to do with the show? Nothing. This doesn't help your show, though. This doesn't help Disney, and I'm sure Disney told him to yank that post, and he did. But he started interacting, and he interacted with Jeremy last night, and I was on a live stream till 3 o'clock in the morning with Jeremy, and we were discussing this with Ivan Ortega and talking about just like how stupid this was. I mean, it's just dumb. It's dumb. I would never want that said about any side ever. This hyperbole, it's meaningless now, but you perpetuate a narrative that does lead to violence on the streets. And you are a public figure. You are a public figure. And now I understand why there might be rumors behind the scenes. And I was backing this dude up, and I was saying, yeah, the Mandalorian needs to take his helmet off. And I was saying he was great as Oberyn Martell. And he was. Was he just popping off? Does he really mean that? I don't know. I can't get into his head, but it's basic bitch, for one. And for two, again, Disney cannot afford this. Disney cannot afford to lose customers. Amazingly enough, Disneyland is allowed to open up limited. It's going to have a limited opening right after the election. And we still have Disney World, which is at limited capacity, but numbers are spiking according to government sources here in California. And that is news. I'm sorry to bring that up because it's such a bummer, but a lot of our entertainment comes from California, and Gavin Newsom has been dropping hint after hint after hint that we might be shutting down. Now, that could not happen. And I certainly have feelings on that. I want everybody out there to be happy, joyous, and free. That's what I want. That's my desire. Even people who disagree with me, I want you to be happy. I do. And I want everyone to enjoy Star Wars. And while I think it was done for me, I don't think I don't think it can ever be repaired to what Disney wanted. Like I've said before, I think it's dead, but I think they can make something most definitely that will still be a revenue stream that some people can still enjoy. And that's great. we'll probably move on. And with this episode, I think we see what we're getting from the Mandalorian. I think we're all waiting for that next corner. You know, it's I'm not very experienced at playing video games, but it's like you're on your little quests and you're waiting for it to really kick in, right? So this episode was the half of a side quest where you defeat another sub boss. And that's what we're getting, a live action cartoon. So it's called The Passenger. And the Mandalorian, it starts out with a decent fight scene. The Mandalorian is taking off from Mos Pago or whatever it was called, and 3 bounty hunters are tracking him. They set a trap. They set a line in his speeder bike. He hits the line, crushes the speeder bike. Baby Yoda gets caught. There's a knife to Baby Yoda's neck. The Mandalorian fights off 2 of the bounty hunters, I believe, kills them. 1 is left, and he says, hey, let's bargain. Let's bargain. Don't kill the baby. There's if you do that, there's nowhere you can run and hide from me, because he got shot directly twice and it just bounced off the Beskar. And the alien wisely says, okay, fine. You know, and he ends up trading his jetpack, and the alien grabs the jetpack and Pedro fires it up in the sky. Alien falls down, jetpack comes down, falls down like R2-D2. I like that scene. I thought it was good. Goes straight downhill from there. So he goes back to Mos Eisley and he sees the mechanic lady. I'm forgetting her name here. I'll look up real quick. The mechanic lady who is Pelimotto. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cast members in this. And 1 is in a costume and the other one is a voice actor. Oh no, this is a problem. So the passenger is a frog lady, and this frog lady is voiced by a man. I think we have a social justice emergency here. Somebody needs to be canceled. How dare they have a man voice a female frog? Disney should be canceled. Who's the voice actor? D. Bradley Baker, who's worked on Family Guy. He should be canceled. And so should Jon Favreau, because he's a white male and he was there and it was obviously his decision. Terrible. What's up, El Berzadente? And then Pedro bravely ran away like a brave Sir Robin. He did run away. What's up, El Berzadente? Thank you for joining in. Hopefully, okay, I'm going to keep this up, and you guys will get access to this hours before it comes out, maybe even a day. And I'm going to start dropping for the upper tiers my videos. I'll give you guys early previews of those. Just please don't share them because they'll be unlisted before they come up. But I'll give you guys like a half an hour, and I'll try to give you notice and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to try to do as much as I can for the next couple months. Okay, where was I? Yes. So Pelimotto is in Mos Eisley. And remember, last episode, it was a big deal to find the Mandalorians. And he went through all this shit to get some Mandalorian armor where he didn't even get information about the Mandalorians. Right? And they're hidden and it's hard to find. First person he comes across in the bar is Pelimotto playing with cards with an ant. And the ant knows where some Mandalorians are. So, the Mandalorian covers Peli's round, and she finds out that there is another person who knows where the Mandalorians are. So the ant knows somebody who knows where the Mandalorians are. And that person is the frog lady. But they have to give the frog lady a ride, and they can't go in light speed because she's got spawn in her little container. So they have to fly at sublight. I mean, this is just like a video game. It really is. So she wants to go to the planet where the Mandalorians are because that's where her husband is. He carved out a life for them because their line is about to end. So that's why he's got to take her. He's got to be basically a taxi driver, and they can't communicate because they have a different language. They figure that out later. When she gets into the ship, Baby Yoda, and she turns her back on the spawn, Baby Yoda starts eating the eggs. Baby Yoda's a total dick in this episode. Absolute dick. And they take off. and they can't fly at light speed. And there's a bunch of cute Baby Yoda scenes wanting to eat the eggs. He got caught a couple times, said, no, 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 no. And then they get, because they're at sublight, a couple of X-Wing fighters, one piloted by Dave Filoni. The characters are called Captain Carson Teva and Trapper Wolf, which is Dave Filoni, Trapper Wolf. And they, hey, have you seen any Imperial holdouts? We need you to send a transponder. And I'm going to talk like the Mandalorian, right? The transponder's not working right now. It seems to be working now. It doesn't work. And he ends up running from them because they get suspicious. First, they're going to let him go. Then they're going to get suspicious. And they go down to an ice planet because there's only desert and planets and ice planets in Disney Star Wars for some reason. And they're going through, and it's a decent fight and stuff. And the X-Wings are like, hey, we don't want to shoot you down. Just send a transponder. But, of course, he is wanted everywhere. And they end up crashing the ship. They crash the ship, and the hull is damaged. The frog lady needs to communicate. Mandalorian's like, hey, deal's off. We're done. Frog lady needs to communicate, so she hooks up the destroyed Death Star droid. That's how I don't know that's what I've always known it as, because I'm pretty sure it was. It's the one that's kind of like C-3PO, and it was an action figure from one of the first lines. So it looks like a Death Star droid to me, and it's voiced by Richard Aedo, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name, from Red Dwarf. That's who he's voiced by. She communicates that this is the end of my line. We've worked too hard. You can't back out on your deal. I heard Mandalorians are true to their word. He's like, okay. So they go out of the ship. They find some thermal bath, and that's where the mom goes with her spawn, and the baby Yoda keeps eating the damn eggs, and he tells them to stop. And they see these little eggs in the ice around the bath. Baby Yoda eats whatever's in these eggs, and it looks like it's kind of a spider. Once he does that, all the other eggs start hatching. Big spiders come out, and they run. They fight spiders. There's a decent scene of a bunch of spiders attacking the ship. And, at no point do I think anybody is in danger. I thought for a second, like, okay, if they actually killed the frog lady and then he's got to take care of the spawn and the baby, oh my God. Now, maybe this episode is foreshadowing something because it's somebody protecting young and Mandalorian's protecting young, but I don't care at this point. So it's just a video game, and it looks great and it's fine, but it's not sophisticated storytelling at all. This is straight up kid stuff. And you need to ride that line, but Star Wars was never straight up, as much as George Lucas says it was kid stuff. It might have been in his eyes, but Gary Kurtz's involvement in the original trilogy leveled it up a little bit, made it more sophisticated. So it was palatable to 13 to 90-year-olds. All right. So this is just straight up kiddie stuff. I don't feel like anybody's in danger. I don't feel like my character's going to die. When I'm watching a cartoon, I don't think like I'm watching Justice League Unlimited. Nobody from the Justice League right away is going to die. Now, that was a great cartoon. I just pulled it out of my ass right now. But yeah, I don't feel any sense of danger. I feel like they're going to defeat the spiders, and they did. And the spiders look okay. And then a couple of giant spiders come. They try to take the ship off. They can't. And trapped. And it looked like they're trapped in the cockpit. And it looks like it's all over. Then the X-Wings come out of fucking nowhere and kill all the spiders. So they've got the Mandalorian dead to rights, and they go, there's warrants out for you. But then they say, wait, but you've did these good things. And you saved a guard on the prison barge and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to let you go. And he's all, how about I forego the bounty on those wanted guys I killed, and you help me weld my hull real quick. And they're like, nah, fuck you. And they leave. And they leave him there to die on the planet. So what he does is he repairs the cockpit, and they take off. End of episode. That's it. So there's a lot of very Baby Yoda was a dick throughout he was always getting into the eggs. He was always getting into trouble. And it's like this was a Baby Yoda episode. That's what it was supposed to be, because they didn't do anything. They didn't even finish. They didn't even finish the journey. Like we're not, I don't know if we're even a tenth of the way through the journey in the second episode of an 8 episode series that thankfully I believe these episodes are longer. Hang on, let me double check that. Yeah, this one was only 38 minutes. And so no, they're with credits. So no, they're not longer. I know everybody's like, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. And that's cool. That's cool. It's I mean, again, it's not filled with intersectional feminism and it's not filled with identity politics. And that is a great, great thing. But then you need to entertain us and people are starting to get bored. And this was one of the worst episodes of The Mandalorian. No Gina Carano, obviously. Now, so I give this one a 3 out of 10. A 3 out of 10. I'm going to be honest with you. But on a woke scale, it was on a like anti-woke scale, like no intersectional feminism or anything. 10 out of 10. There's absolutely none of it in it. 0. So we got to credit that. So maybe I'll bring it up to like a 5 out of 10. I wouldn't watch the episode again. It didn't move anything forward. There's good visuals. I know some people are down on the visuals and you can tell it's a screen once in a while, but that doesn't really bother me very much. I'm a Doctor Who fan. I am used to seeing like tinfoil and paper mache and I can be entertained like that, but the stories were so good. And quite frankly, late 60s, early 70s Doctor Who storytelling dwarfs this. You want some good storytelling? There you go. Or you go to Buffy. I know a lot of you hate Joss Whedon, but that's fucking good storytelling. So that's it. That's it. And I want to contrast. We'll end it. We started out with that negative Pedro Pascal tweet, right? Our good friend, Gina Carano. The more lying, cheating, demoralizing, and hate I see, the clearer it is for me to feel the power of hope, truth, respect, and love. Let your spirit be filled with strength and peace. Breathe. And I just said, thank you. And she responded, it's going to be okay. And it is. So the one positive thing from The Mandalorian is the show itself is not woke. Its star just pissed off and alienated a bunch of people, though. And if the star came out and apologized and said, listen, I'm a Biden fan. I got caught up in it. I probably shouldn't have put that up. I don't really think people who voted for Donald Trump are Nazis. That would be great. And it would be over. And you know what? And the thing is, he's too afraid of the other side going, yes, they are, which they're not. And I mean, I can't get into his head. I would love to say that he was just popping off and being arrogant, being an actor and being a follower, because that's what they are for the most part. These are not the reason Gina here is a different than the rest is she is a self-made woman fighter, fought literally fought and helped a sport grow that was a big star in a sport that quite frankly I wasn't that familiar with, and I'm not. But that's like I equate that to the small business owner, to the entrepreneur, to somebody who's self-made or just exceeds at your job, or just somebody who's just okay with yourself inside. We need more of that. And somebody who is well-adjusted doesn't go out and call a bunch of people Nazis. Like I said in the live stream last night, I'll once in a while, and again, this is no judgment of anybody else. If you want to throw out the term SJW as much as you want, go for it. It's so applicable in so many. I try to hold back on it, quite frankly, because they'll try to use that against me, or I keep it out of the dialogue because of the algorithm. But I really don't want to put a blanket statement out there about people. I'll talk about the individual and their action. And I try to keep it to that. I do lose my cool sometimes. I get a little pissed off. I get pissed off at Al Kurtzman and Daniel Kibblesmith and Pedro Pascal for abusing paying customers, people who want to give you their hard-earned money for your show that you are lucky enough to be in. I mean, there's people who literally drive trucks. Applein Me Minion, who is a member on the channel, she drives trucks 12, 13 hours a day, as much as she's allowed to, all day, every day, keeping this country going, loading, unloading, just her and her little dog. Like that's the shit. That I respect. Those people want to enjoy your show. Those people make sure you get fed. Those people will go into your cities that are in disarray right now and to keep the supply chain going. And there's others out there. There's Mr. Insanity, who works in the medical field, who follows it. I mean, there's a bunch of people out there working hard every day, and they just want to come home and enjoy some Star Wars. Think about them. Think about them. They're human beings. They're individuals. Don't dehumanize. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you did not like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long, and I will see you in the next video.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.